Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News. Today, I want to tell you about the Florida man who made church carry legal and the absolute Chad who told
AFT
to pound sand. But before we get started, I want to tell you about the wholesome, non-GMO, free-range, sugar-free, gluten-free, 99% cruelty-free night vision products offered to you by our friends at TNVC.com. Handcrafted by honest, hard-working Amish operators using traditional old country techniques, TNVC night vision is hearty and refreshing, just like you. If you like seeing stuff more than not seeing stuff, take a look at our sponsor, TNVC.com, your source for quality night vision gear to make you the bump in the night. First off, I want to remind you to keep up the pressure on
AFT
proposed rules concerning receivers and braces and the Senate confirmation of anti-gun activist David Chipman,
AFT
director. Both of these proposed rules are important and they deserve your attention. Please use the links down there in the doobly-doo to submit your comments as often as you have the time. Also, please keep calling your senators to oppose Manchin's confirmation as director of the ATF. David Chipman is an untrustworthy propagandist and incapable of performing his duties in a manner befitting the office. There are 6 swing senators who can make the difference, so no matter what state you live in, let's focus the pressure on these 6 senators listed to my right and urge them to oppose David Chipman's confirmation as director of the ATF. Now, with that out of the way, from the About Time files, Florida man Ron DeSantis signed HB 259 into law, making it legal to carry a gun in church. It never should have been a question, really. Banning guns in church violates the first 2 amendments in the Bill of Rights at the same time. The state has no authority to tell a church how it must operate, and they also have no authority to infringe on the basic human right to be armed. Now, to be clear, it wasn't explicitly illegal to carry in church under the previous law, but it was illegal to carry on the property of any school. As you know, it's very common for churches, synagogues, and mosques to also operate schools. So, by extension, it was illegal to carry in any of those places of worship, even if school wasn't in session. The Florida legislature has been debating this bill for years, but finally got it passed this year, and DeSantis signed. So that's cool, I guess. No one should have to choose between worship and safety. Unfortunately, you still need a state permission slip to carry at all, and your heater has to stay hidden whether or not you're worshiping. Again, it's none of the state's business, but this is at least a tolerable condition, if not perfect. Have you guys heard about this Sacramento fire captain who got arrested? The whole story is wild. Best I can tell, Captain Derek Oaks got arrested for doing things which were perfectly legal when he did them. Then things changed around him and he ran afoul of both federal and state law. There's a lot to unpack, and it's all tucked away after the breathless propaganda in the beginning of every single legacy media article concerning this event that I was able to read. Now, back in 2012,
AFT
wrote a letter stating they believed a specific Glock auto sear kit from JNC Manufacturing was not at a sufficiently advanced state of manufacturing to be subject to the 1934 NFA or to the 1968 GCA. Then, 6 years later, they changed their minds, as they're wont to do, deciding the unfinished kits were suddenly whole machine guns because we say so, damn it. And then in 2019,
AFT
pulled a list of buyers for Glock auto sear kits from JNC and went and visited them. When they got to the Oaks residence, someone blasted a siren at them through the Ring doorbell every time they tried to talk.
But they're gonna get. Knock, knock. Who's there?
Now, Oaks says he was camping at the time and that it could have been a problem with the app on his phone, but it certainly wasn't intentional. So,
the AFT
left a card and Oaks had his lawyer call them. During that conversation,
The AFT.
as they advised the attorney representing Oaks, they believed he purchased one of those kits and they wished him to turn it over to them. Now, this is where
The AFT
claims the attorney says you, and told them his client would not cooperate. Oaks' attorney, Kimber Goddard, says he said no such thing, but that he did inform
The AFT.
his client is not in possession of a machine gun, and that
The AFT.
never actually specifically told him what they really wanted. So, feds are gonna fed, they got upset, they come back with a warrant, as well as state police and county sheriff deputies. They found 18 firearms, which were at one point legal in California, but are now likely a violation of the state ban on so-called assault weapons. They also found 2 home-built rifles and a set of brass knuckles. These charges are particularly infuriating on account of the recent ruling from St. Benitez, where he found this law to be grossly unconstitutional, but he did place a stay on his own opinion in order for the state to appeal to an en banc review. That's right. Let me reiterate for the emphasis, the main charge against this guy is a law which has already been found unconstitutional. He's also charged with illegally making 2 rifles, but again, this looks like something which was perfectly legal when he did it, and even now doesn't violate federal law or even the vast majority of other sane states' laws. It seems he marked both guns with his own serial numbers, but current California statute requires you to mark a gun with a number issued by the state and, of course, to register your gun with them. As for that parts kit, which kicked off the whole thing, which the ATF asserts is actually a machine gun, they referred the case to the U.S. Attorney's Office, but no charges have been filed, and the U.S. Attorney's Office won't say whether there is still an investigation. This is starting to be the trademark move from the ATF. They throw their weight around until they push up against an actual court, and then they're not quite so interested in pursuing the charge, which seemed so serious all the way up to the point where the accused would, have representation, and the issue could wind up possibly drawing further limits around their authority.
I dare you to step over this line. Okay, I'm a steppin'.
Friends, they do not want court cases unless they are a slam dunk against unsympathetic drug dealers, white supremacist biker gangs, or poor people. For
The AFT.
the process is the punishment, and if you upset them, they'll come back with the local cops who are bound to find something to haul you off with. This is why sanctuary laws are so important. Well, friends, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy watching these things because I sure like making them for you. Hey kids, do you want to know how to get email alerts for the best deals, projects we're working on, and the hottest stuff you missed on the ARFCOM forums? You bet you do, so go ahead and hit the Linktree link down there in the doobly-doo and sign up for our newsletter. And remember, our robot overlords in the tube of yous know what we want better than we do for ourselves, so they routinely unsubscribe viewers from channels like our own, which could contain wrongthink. That makes puppies cry, and Captain America is very disappointed. So don't forget to check every now and then just to be sure you're still subscribed to us. And while you're at it, ring that notification bell to stay in the know on all the 2A news. If you want to help us keep bringing you banger content like this, please support the folks who support us. Not only does TNVC.com give you night vision with that cool, refreshing, never bitter taste that goes down smooth, they also have mounts, lights, and all sorts of other gear to make you the bump in the night. I love you.